Well, hello. Come right on in. You're at Father Fish. Nice to have you with us.
Father Fish, what do you think of kitty litter anoxic filter, which is being promoted? Well, have I tried it? I'm not running that kind of system. My filtration in the Father Fish system is the substrate, which makes it a permanent filter. The kitty litter anoxic filters are good for about a year, and then they essentially get clogged. They can't handle any more load, and they have to be taken out and thrown away or changed or whatever. It's just not a system that I like or that I use or that I frankly have any interest in at all. It's no better really than any kind of hang on the back filter or canister filter. It's really the same thing. It's just using a slightly different media. All right, here we go. Here's some more fish drains. There's some new videos out that mention slow water flow through the deep substrate. They're saying use empty as a stir sand to prevent ammonia. I think it's nonsense. I think it's fiddling around. It's fiddling around with natural systems. You really don't need to do it. The problem with all of these people is they're really trying to play God. They're really trying to say, I know best how to keep my tank. I know best how to maintain the chemistry and the balance and the this and the that. And they don't. So they come up with one idea after another to accomplish one goal or another. And there's always a downside. And the downside usually results in dead fish. We have a perfectly effective system that God gave us that works brilliantly. No need to fiddle around with it and try to figure out how to make it better. There's no way to make it better. You cannot improve on nature and natural systems. So why try?
I knew this is one of your hot button issues that get you going.
John the Fisherman.
Is that a plenum or something when they do that? Is that plenum?
Well, plenum is
gravel silt filter?
No, plenum is it's a layer of water underneath the substrate.
Bring yourself back up here so we can see you rant. We want to
Here's
see
the
you
thing
when
about
you rant.
the plenums were dismissed in about 1990, late 1990s, around 2000 by GARF, GARF.org. They looked extensively at plenums, at using them and not using them. For a while, they were even recommending them. They finally realized that they actually achieved absolutely nothing. They were of zero consequence. They made no difference whatsoever in the quality of the substrate or the condition of the tank. So they were dispensed with. There are still people trying to say, oh, you need to have a plenum. The only reason they feel like you need to have a plenum is because they just learned about plenums and they think it's a cool, hot new idea. It's old, disregarded, unhelpful, unnecessary technology. Besides which, where in the world do you find a layer of water running under a sand bed in a shallow system? You don't. And it's the same thing with trying to run water through the system. That's called an under gravel filter, a system we used in the 60s and 70s and finally dispensed with it in the 80s, although there are and were some diehards who still like them.
Those are my first tanks, under gravel in the 80s.
Right. We all had them then. What makes them work?
One of those weird octagons or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. What makes them work is...
Get yourself up here so we can see your face while you're telling us this important news.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because you're on one of your rants.
I'm looking at you.
Everybody say, where's Father Fish?
The under gravel filter is effective because it becomes a Father Fish substrate. Follow me here. It's pulling mold, pulling dirt, pulling detritus out of the water column. Water goes through substrate in channels. It follows the course of least resistance. As that detritus flows through those channels, it begins to block them, and eventually they become fully blocked, and there's a new channel created that becomes fully blocked. So in effect, what's being created It's a deep substrate, and it grows plants brilliantly. But it takes about 6 months to get it really working effectively. By then, the best thing to do if you've got that is to pull the tube out, put 2 inches of sand on top, and keep on trucking, because you then have a deep substrate created by an under gravel filter. Isn't that interesting?
Well, I hope you found something you've never seen before. Have a great day. Nice to have you with us. Come on back.